And in the morning when I get to the office, I don't get to have tea. Right? So I'm not trying to overemphasize the importance of sales, but the sales department of a Sano company maybe sales department but the function is still there, right? So the importance of sales has its own unique position when we're talking about a company. Right? Just like you have a world map back a tiger has its own place. Right? A cow has its own place, right? A dog has its own space, a cat has its own space, a rat has its own space. So, to separate your sphere map, it is all a combination, a teamwork. And at the same time, like I'm saying, please do not confuse marketing and sales. These are two very, very different, departments when we talk about an institution. And again, going back, like I said, Ginger Marketing Service is actually a ginger sales company. Right? We're a sales company. So Nepal is sales one. Because you always say, sales mindset is if I'm from the sales department, But people forget to understand that is what brings in the money. I would like organic presentation. We're talking about marketing, digital list. But until you don't give me your money and I put it in my pocket, I don't make money. That is sales. And that is what is going to drive you, me, my stomach, right? My electricity bills, right? Everything, because until you don't give me your cash, I will cease to exist. And that is sales, closing. And marketing I'm not saying marketing bina fir kaam pani hudaina, right? Accounts department bina pani kaam hudaina. Product development team bina pani kaam hudaina. Tara त्यो process complete गर्नलाई, right? In order to put food into my stomach, I need sales. What is sales? Now, a lot of people again talk about, sales ko manche bhaneपछि gafari. We like, ekdam gafari, you need a gift of the gap, you need to be able to talk. Yes, it is an art, but it is also a science, right? When I talk about why I say it is an art, then yes, you need to be able to communicate, not talk. And communication means talking and listening. There are two parts to communication. Sales is not just about talking, right? It's about communication. And communication, you talk and you listen. If you don't listen properly, then you can talk about your product, right? But if you don't understand your customers, then it does not make any sense to the customer as to what you're talking about. I don't want to listen to you and about how fantastic, wonderful your product is, unless you cannot, bring that together and join it with what I need, or what I might need, or what I want, or what I wish. Everything I don't need. A lot of things I don't need. Women are on any of these fancy bags. Do you need it? You don't need it. But then you want it. But then you still got to tell me why I would want a $400, $500, $1,000 bag, $4,000 bag. Why do I need it? Right? And then science says, त्यो कहिले situation चाहिँ हुँदैन. But if everything were to remain same, and like my thought process, my financial status, my height, I don't know, whatever the product if everything up to real life then your case must say were to be the same, then you can actually, the results would come out to be the same. And I know science and maths, they're very standard formulas, a lot of standard, formulas that you can just like copy down and think. Sales sales it's not a new thing, is it? We've been selling and buying for a very, very long time, right? So there have been different, sales techniques that have been tried by different people. Some have worked, some have not worked, and a lot of things have been passed down from generation to generation, from person to person in the sales department. Meaning sales department, don't just look at it as a company. Someone's selling, I don't know what, tires, or someone's selling, salt, selling only. So the art of selling has been, the art of selling and the science of selling rather has also been passed on. That's also, but then exact to selling to techniques, a lot of things have been tested. We don't need to say, I'll come up with a wonderful new techniques to selling. No. There are a lot of things that have already been done. There are a lot of sales approach that have already been tested. There are a lot of things that work, And what we need to do is oil the soil, a lot of online resources, and we don't need to buy books for everything, right? And we don't need to meet people for everything. So there are a lot of techniques that are there available. What we need to understand is it's much easier to learn them than try and work for 10 years and finally say, hey, it's when there's already something that's telling you that this is how you bloody do it. There's very standard resources. Not everything will work maybe in our context. Nepal context, customer to customer, out of 100 people, the same technique will not work for 100 people, of course, right? But then there are things that will work, and you don't need to work for 10 years and find that out when you already have that in your hand. And that's what science is. Yes, I think. Like I said, is the sales department important? I know marketing is important, accounts is important, product development is important, a lot of things are important, but sales department, you have to understand, I believe a lot of you are, trying to, working on startup companies, you have to understand, I know, an idea is beautiful, you've got a lot of energy, I have a lot of energy, right? And I've tried multiple things, so what's the fun, right? Until the money does not come into your wallet, it doesn't feed you, And that's why, if there's no sales, you have to understand there's no income. If there's no income, sustainable and modern. Until at the end of the day, if you don't get to enjoy your work, and how do you enjoy your work? When you make money. That's why you're doing business, right? What's the difference between an INGO and a private company? And mobile apps on a lot of consulting for INGOs also, but I never enjoyed it. You know why? No, INGOs were key on. I'm not trying to say INGOs are not important, really. Some people are like I said, right? So for me personally, I didn't find happiness in doing that because INGO was key on the reason that you don't have to make an income. Your evaluation is based on how you spend. Private company, when you're doing your own stuff, or you work with someone, you have to understand that you have to create an income and an expense. INGO also income expense evaluation. That's the basic difference that I find between INGOs and private companies. Right? Exactly. So, again, right, now what I'm going to present to you today is about my experience. I'm not going into a lot of theory, and I've not honestly taken book references, but I do have a laptop. I do have a particular sales tips file which I maintain. I regularly go online. I regularly use YouTube, books. Sales tips I usually copy that, put it there, and I've tried to organize it into whatever in the best way I can. That makes sense to me. So last 1 year I've made it a habit to grasp whatever I can. YouTube makes one when you listen to it and then you can type it up, and then I've tried to organize it a little here and there. So it's not going to be exactly book or it's not in that format. But I think this has been very, very useful for me and my team. I really like doing this as an ongoing process. And again, I'm not a sales guru. I think I just was really happy to be here to be able to share my experiences. And I'm sure our Yeti platform you would have so many things to share with me, which I can learn. So more than trying to teach you something, I think this is just a sharing experience that I garnered over, not just this 1 year, but for a very long time. Not just in, again, my new company, and just consulting, like I said, for 6 years, I completely just I was still doing a little bit of consulting, with some of my key clients like Encel, Yama, or different companies that I was doing part-time consulting. So something and even your travel and adventure, something it's a combination, I think, of my last 15 years of whatever I'm doing. Not just for selling, passion I think is very, very important, right? And the reason I say that is, one of the things I found is, what is the difference between we Asians or Nepalese versus like maybe someone from the US or Europe or whatever, you know? Or even a lot of Nepalese or Asians were going there and doing something. If we don't have passion in what we're doing, you know, then, you know, we had nowhere. It just becomes a bloody job, you know? All of you are, you know, trying to start up a company. That belief in that, in whatever you're doing, is the first starting point of success. Which does not mean that the first thing you will start might not be a success. The second might not be. But then that drive, that fire, that passion to, you know, like, that love for whatever you're doing. And selling, it's even more important. When it comes to selling, you have to understand that, like, even in my sales department, like, I'm doing a lot of these recruitments also, I always say, I am not looking for a degree. Selling money, because it does not come with a degree. Yes, you do learn a lot of things in college, yeah? Okay, but then I have one guy who's not finished undergrad, but he's doing a wonderful job, and he loves it, you know. He loves going out, talking to people, this and that, yeah. And at the same time, I've been teaching him, I've been like mentoring him, I've been working with him very, very closely. But that passion for selling, and like for example, in accounts department, for example, even if you don't love it, you can still do it. The selling department, how do you evaluate a good salesperson?
His outcome.
What is outcome?
How much he sells.
You go to the accounts department and say, okay, how much I just, like, you know, last month also sales got this up, that is his performance evaluation. You know? Audit department, supervisors, you know, you can make evaluations, your juniors can make evaluation. But sales department, evaluations are very, very simple. And even for you as a company, your sales department the CEO also might be a part of is a part of the sales team, whoever. You look at your accounts, and that is your evaluation for the sales team, right? The evaluation part is very, very simple. There's no subjective, like, you know, thing as to, his attitude, he's, you know, motivating the team, whatever, or not motivating the team. It doesn't count, you know. Sales department, the evaluation is very simple. You go to the accounts department, and then you look at the figures, A, B, C, you exactly know who is where, right? Now, and I always tell my sales team also, you know, if you're not enjoying selling, you know, I should not be the one to tell you to leave. You should be the one to come and tell me this job is not for me. You know? And even for you, when you're starting a company, if you just want to make beautiful things or make innovative things, and if you don't want to sell, it's time for you to close your office. I'm on a ballot. I've met a lot of people, you know, they're like, you make this fancy things, or, you know, you're working on a company. I'm like, but, you know, I'm not, you know, here to, like, you know, impress the world. Dude, you need to sell. Yeah? If you're not here to sell, you either need to have a lot of money from your dad or mom or whatever, you know, and just, like, you know, you're just doing that as a hobby. But if you're starting up a company, and if you say, oh, you know, like, yeah, at some point in time there has to be a revenue model. There has to be sales, right? And if you're not selling, if you don't want to sell, close down the company and do something, you know, where you'd like to sell something, because at the end of the day, you need to make money. And that is, money in itself is not just for the money, but it's a measurement of how good you are, how good you're doing, you know. Let's say, Bill Gates, he's got so much money, but next year he makes more money. Does he really need that extra money? No. It's a measurement of whether you're doing better or worse. You know? So that money factor also becomes a measurement. Don't just look at it for pure money. Especially our line for our thing, I said, no money. I said, like, dude, where did you get the gear from? You know? $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, you know? So what's going to fuel that? Money, right? So if you're not selling, if you don't want to sell, you know, you might as well close down your company. And like I said, these are the key points, okay? Tell yourself you will listen, and not just listen, but understand. I see a lot of, like, you know, what to listen, that are very, very interesting, you know, things that all of you are trying to work on, right? But while you're working on that, what you need to also understand is, what do my customers want? Yeah? I know, everyone talks about, marketing, understanding customers, we always talk about it. Right? Right? Sales, what I'm also saying is, see, I'm not just talking about the marketing perspective, but when you sit down with a customer, right, and when you make a pitch, sales good. A lot of people like, मेरो product बारे भने मेरो यस्तो छ उस्तो छ यार मलाई यस्तो हुन्छ भन्दैन. It's not that. You have to this and this and it comes together. Yes, I have a product that I want you to buy, and what do I get back in return? This is the basics of economics, right? What? Exchange. There has to be value in exchange. Why do I go to a fruit shop and buy an apple? Is that guy selling me an apple because it is good for my health? Is he selling me an apple because it's good for my health? No. Because he needs to make a living, and selling apples is the way he found out that he could make a living by selling apples to people, right? Why do I go and buy again and again and again? Because I find value in consuming that apple, right? So the buyer and the seller have understood that there is value in buying an apple and in selling an apple. You get me? Now, product I'm just like, you have to see where does that, and the moment either of the party feels that there is no value in that exchange, then that relationship will stop to exist. But then I'll say, yeah, this product is bullshit for this. You know? Like for example, an Apple local Fuji, like I think 350, 400, 450 some pounds, right? Why do I consume that Apple? Because I find value in buying that 450 rupees apple. Mutual, it's a fresh, I don't know, whatever. I like buying that apple. I find value in spending 450 rupees for a kg of apples, whereas I could also get it for 120, 130. See how pounds on the market, right? No, this 450 bucks is like, perfect price, and I am willing to pay 450 rupees for that apple. As a seller, if I don't make money, then what happens? If I don't make money off of you, will I get to sell busy that? I need an income. That is the value for me. I was with a very old friend also and a client. But before that, I've had a very long relationship. And insurance Naari Dio, you know how they are with money. But a very his son is younger to me by about 8-9 years, but he's a very good friend, and his dad is also a very good friend. And you know insurance policy and he was telling me, he had asked me for a big discount. I said, Pawan, like, you and I've bought cameras most probably 10-12 lakhs camera and I told him, see, like, you are a businessman, I'm a businessman. You asked me for a discount that I can give you. I've asked you for a discount, but I've said, give me a discount that you can offer, and then whatever you've offered, I've taken it. Yes? I said yes. So, like, and I'm not doing this for a social service. Don't ask me to, extend more than what I can offer. Well, clearly on the face on this. Sometimes I just like to be like, straightforward. No being on there, like that. I don't want to do business with you. Why should I do business with you when I don't make money? I'm sorry. And if I start buying cameras at rates which cannot afford, why would you be interested in selling cameras to me? And actually, he kept quiet after that. Value exchange, okay? Like for example, after product, what is the real value for you one? And very important also for the customer. But never forget your side of the story as well. That you also need value in that exchange. And one I like to believe that I will only buy what I will sell. I will only sell what I will buy. Sorry, right? Staff team. For example, when we're selling insurance, we've taken up your Nepal Life codes, and in terms of life insurance, we're doing Nepal Life. A lot of people tell me, why don't you keep 3-4 different options? I said, like, dude, why do I need like 2-3 options when I've already done our side of the homework and I know what I've seen. पहिला पनि मैले इन्सुरेन्स किनेको थिएँ एउटा कम्पनीको, but I found out that your insurance cost, life insurance cost, it's basically the return. After you do your 15-year policy, what do you get back after 15 years? What? I know. Or the details and stuff, but primary things. I saw that Nepal life I'm getting 6.5% per year. Average return comes to. So in 15 years, I get about 97.5% go return. For every 100 rupees, like 10 lakh go 9 lakh, 75,000 rupiah I get back in 15 years. Okay. Or company B which I also, I've got a son who's 8 years old now. I found out now, from 4 years back. I see 15 years, 10 lakh Nepal life I get 9,75,000 rupees. The company B I get 6 lakh rupees. So there's a clear difference of 3,75,000 rupees. But when I put it to so I get 10 plus 9,75,000. Yes, now what I would get is 10 plus 6 lakhs. Would I want to use for myself? For myself, would I like to lose 3,75,000 rupees when I have to put 10 lakh rupees in both the places? I'm not stupid. But I didn't do my homework. And a lot of people, especially Nepalese, we don't like to do our homework. And I also, I'm fall in the same category. So I said because I'm doing this, then I came to know. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do another one for my child. Or there's any policy. And then I say see, I found that it was good for me. I know one particular bank, which is selling that company B. But internal bank staff or let's say I'm Nepal life will lead because you don't want to lose would you want to lose like would you want to lose like 5,000 rupees? No, I wouldn't. I would like to get an extra return, right? So, and if it's good for your customer, it's good for you. If your customer that person will benefit from your product and he will come and buy again, and so this whole, I think a lot of times, if you're doing good for the customer, somehow I feel that, obviously there are a lot of things, I know, there are a lot of other, dynamics that you need to also make sure that you have, in the right places. But starting points I think, you are off on a good start, And on the laws of cause and effect, again, I'm going back to the same thing when I said, sales is also a science. Right? There have been a lot of research done in sales, trust me, right? And we've been doing sales for a very, 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 very long time. But gari banaउने यो के गर्ने यो digital marketing गर्ने यो चाहिँ यो marketing को यो branding, these are new concepts. But sales is very, very old. We've always been selling or buying, So धेरै कुराहरु आइसकेको छ. And instead of, like I said, spending 5 years, 10 years learning what is already there. Or if you read something and if you try and implement it, test it. Not everything will work, right? But if you test it, you will come to know about it because you need to test all of those different principles and then you start understanding what works for you or what works for Nepal or what works for your product, right? 6 months on. If you don't do that, you will take maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7 years and say, hey, so that whole thing about trying to go out and doing some research on the sales part, whatever you're doing, whether you're selling, I think mustard oil, whether you're selling an event, whether you're selling books, whatever you're doing, sales is always there. So after context, after industry context, if you just go and do a little bit of research, right, and try and put it together, after context, how does it work for you? That you also have to find out. And you have to test it, you have to talk to people, you have to try and make a sale, and sales, it's a very on-the-foot job. You have to go and make a sale. Or someone has to come to you and buy something. Nepal will be context with an outside, maybe your card, online payments, they've gone really, really forward. So, in our case, it is very much, on the foot. Someone either has to come to you, or you have to go to them. Marketing is good. Without marketing, because I'm also a research guy. This whole thing about creating brand awareness, brand pushing, all of them are very, very important. But at the end of the day, you still need to walk up to them, or they still need to walk up to you and make a sale, purchase something, or you need to sell them. So that whole and one thing saying, I'm a sales good. I mean, you better know what you're selling. And by that, I don't just mean, oh, you have already. Why are you selling? What is your product? Why are you selling? And how does it benefit them? The thing I saw, you mustard oil. Okay. Do you know, for example, locally found mustard oils and key lemon also? You company packet of
packet local.
No. The packet was
soybean.
And there's that other thing, granular keyboard. They're not real mustard. Mustard now, yeah, they're not made out of mustard. Flavor, whatever. Center flavor. They're not made out of real mustard, right? A friend of mine, for example, he's a very good friend of mine, Nepali, but he's based out of Australia. He sends almost like, I think 30 containers or something of those granular seeds every month from Perth to Nepal. That is what a mustard oil is made up of. Now, do you really have the need? I know a lot of people will need that and want like real mustard oil. You could have something custom. Some people are marketing in the sense social media, what I say is it's on the foot. When you start it up, that's beginning to curve. You need to maybe get good packaging. All of that is very, very important. I know. So maybe you need to pick that bottle up a year. You need to have a sales team who are going to pick that bottle up and go to customers. I'm marketing, we're waiting for customers to come and buy our products. And sometimes maybe you can just pick that bottle up, or your sales team can pick that up and go to customers and say try this. Why? I'll just take for example, a lot of people think, oh, mustard oil, but you don't know that it's not actually mustard oil, It's just flavored, it's scented. And then, customers are print ad Facebook sales grow on the foot, sales team pick up a bottle. Obviously, again I said good branding is also very, very important, right? So Facebook marketing is very, very important. Right? So print ad is even more important. But you need to have someone to pick that bottle up and go to customers and say, this is my product, this is why you need to consume it. And if you've got a product that you think is really good, you need to be able to look at customers and say, this is good for you. I always say, the customers, that whatever you're selling them, you need to have that conviction in your product and say, this product is good for you. And that's why I'm here to exchange value. Your time management, this slightly goes off sales, but when the sales team level, I had to, many sales team, I had to show them, it's about time. Right? And actually this, you also come out Mohammad Ali. Long time back, my dad was a great fan of Mohammad Ali, and I'm also a big fan of Mohammad Ali, and he sadly recently passed away. But I think he was about I was just like 10, 12 years back. When he said that, he said he was about 31, 32 years old, and he format okay? You have 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a week. So we always talk about resources, and we always talk about time, how important time is, how scarce it is, right? But let's put it down into our life as to how much time do we have? Do you have really, and if you really want to do something in life, and this is where let's say you more than little bit goes back. So let's say 30 years old, 6 hours per day. So you slept for 7.5 years, okay? 2 hours per day you spent time for eating for 2.5 years. And 2 hours per day you spend time traveling, office, that's another 2.5 years gone. let's say about half an hour a day, that's around about 0.63 years. अब अरू कुराहरुलाई हिसाब गर्न अझै बाँकी नै छ हैन so and again you need to also talk about let's say the first few years you're not really productive, right? You're not really doing anything. What's up like त्यो सबै चाहिँ हिसाब गर्यो भने how much time have you actually like productive years कति स्पेन्ड गर्नु भएको छ and next 30 years को how much time do you really have when you talk about productive years? यो कुरा मैले सेल्स टिमलाई कहाँबाट मेरो आफ्नो टिमलाई कहाँबाट भने भन्दाखेरि they were talking about एकजना सम्बन्धित मेरो गर्दाखेरि कहाँ सर बेलुकी 6 बजे बेलुका घर जानु पर्यो यसो के गर्नु पर्यो हैन so like dude you're like 32 years old हैन तपाईले बेलुकी गएर 7 days a week you want to spend time with your family. How much time do you think you have? And you're 32 years old हैन and by the time you're 45 you need to have finished off pretty much everything that you want to establish foundation to create. By the time you're 45 you got another 18 active or not like 13 active years so to speak. But if you break down that 13 years into how much time you really have, so do you really want to go home at like 5:30, 6 o'clock and spend all of that time watching telly with your wife or whatever? मैले के भन्छ नि बेलुकी जानु घर जानु युट्युबमा चाहिँ रिसोर्सहरू हेर्नु यो भन्दा सर हामी पनि बेलुकी गएर चाहिँ अलिकति चिल त गर्नु पर्यो लाइक डुड what do you do on Facebook? लिएपछि 10 चोटि मुनि 10 चोटि माथि right? And you do that every hour. If you just calculate the number of minutes or hours you do that every day. Instagramमा एउटा के आइहाल्छ how much time do you spend doing that? You know? तर फेसबुकमा केही छैन. Why don't you rather go on YouTube or why don't you get some like good resources and then go online and learn, I see team because there's some very very good interesting resources. There's one guy called Tom Hopkins, right? I really love that guy. Right? And so this time management thing, even for my sales team, is very very important, and I think it's important for all of us in trying to understand, I'm planning ahead, how much time do you really have to to make things work, And especially your beginning phase map is going to be very very important because you need to spend that extra time. But 50 years, 60 years, then you can tone it down, right? Now, I establishment I said 5 years down the line, do you want to be still earning the same amount of money being in the sales department? If no, then the first 5-10 years you're going to really step it up, And just a few quick things, For example, a lot of my team experience, we just spent so much time, running around trying to make a sale, trying to sell whatever we're working on. But especially, I'm never planning to we really don't like to plan. None of us plan our monthly budget doing. महिना कति खर्च गर्ने कति नगर्ने खर्चको हिसाबले मेरो इन्कम कति हुनुपर्छ भने हामी we never plan. And sales department पनि I think it's very very important in trying to plan our sales. तपाईको कम्पनीमा चाहिँ नि the revenue model is very very important. I know मैले पनि पहिलाको सुरु गर्दा त्यस्तै हुन्थ्यो. Well, we think about amazing ideas, right? Oh, यस्तो हुन्छ यस्तो गर्ने अनि यो this how the customers will benefit this that and this and marketing यसरी गर्ने अनि पैसा चाहिँ कहाँबाट आउँछ brother? You got to plan your revenue model also. Like I said again, all works in a system, right? But you got to plan your revenue model also. It has to come in, the money has to come in. So that revenue model planning on it, that the first month what is started on it. By the first year, I know already about the payback period, whatever already we never take it seriously. Especially in Nepal, I know we don't we don't plan. So your sales department likes it daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, depending upon your industry. Because seasonal, travel industry could be seasonal. Kati kuraharu chai like a seasonal huncha or whatever. After industry garnu cha हैन त्यो कुन उसमा गर्ने टार्गेट्सहरुमा वर्क गर्ने okay my monthly target is here minimum. For the first 6 months मेरो monthly target is next 6 months मेरो monthly target कति र हैन. And we should not also about modest पनि हुनुपर्छ targets but dreams चाहिँ ठुलो पनि हुनुपर्छ के Well, I've always felt कस्तो भन्दाखेरि म आफै पनि I'm also victim of the same thing. हामी नेपालीहरूको चाहिँ सबै धेरै सानो हुन्छ क्या दुईटा घर बनाएपछि पुग्यो क्या not enough 5 crores को एकदम गऱ्यो भने त उ त किन्यो भइहाल्यो हैन मारवाडी हेरे इन्डियनहरु हेरे जे टक अबाउट त्यो हाम्रो त्यो टेल सिरियलमा हेर्छ नि कसैलाई किडन्याप गरेर 200 करोड माग्छ मलाई No, it's actually true. It's actually true as to how big you बाहिरको मान्छे they think like such big bodies. हाम्रोमा चाहिँ जतिको गरेर 10 भन्दा माथि चाहिँ किडन्याप गरेर माग्छ के but you go outside हैन they've got such very big volume targets or revenue targets नि हैन कि भोलि गएर why not people will buy if you have a thing and then national borders is not actually a border now anymore right हैन हामीलाई चाहिँ चाइनिजले अमेरिकन्सले कोकोले काकाले काकाबाट दुनियाँले बेचिरहेको छ हामीले पनि जान सक्छौँ इट्स अ ड्रिम हैन एन्ड अभियसली यु गोट टु वर्क भेरी हार्ड टुवर्ड्स द्याट हैन तर यो टार्गेट्सहरू यिनीहरू चाहिँ अर्को चाहिँ ओभरअल जुन चाहिँ एउटा ड्रिम एउटा भिजन छ नि भने चाहिँ इट निड नट बी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड बाई द बोर्डर्स एन्ड कस्तो हुँदो चाहिँ हाम्रो उसमा जस्तै कि एन्ड नेपाली बी स्मल कम्युनिटी पपुलेसनको हिसाबले त स्मल होइन तर बट स्टिल लाइक फर एक्जाम्पल माई सन इज रियली इन माउन्टेन बाइकिङ हैन अनि अस्ति के भन्थ्यो भनेपछि वान डे युज लाइक एन्ड हिज एक्चुली अलरेडी इज 8 years old एन्ड इज अल्सो राइडिङ प्रोफेसनली होइन ए दादा म नेपालको किड्स राइडरमा बेस्ट है भन्नु लाइक अफकोर्स यु आर द ओन्ली ब्लडी वान हु इज राइडिङ बट देन आई सो हिम उसको हिज अल्सो गट एन इन्स्टाग्राम पेज होइन अनि उसको अरू फलोवर्सहरू छ उसले पनि फलो गर्छ अभियसली होइन एन्ड आई सोड हिम लाइक राइडर्स किड राइडर्स from like Europe and US and different places and I said like this is the level नेपालमा चाहिँ नि यसो दुई चारवटा गरेर यतिकै हिरो भएछ अब 8 वर्षमा अरू कोही पनि चलाउँदैन भने यतिकै हिरो भइहाल्यो हैन but that is not your target that is not your limitation the borders of your country is not your limit हैन अहिलेको रियालिटी पनि त्यही हो कि होइन हामीहरू बच्चा हुँदाखेरि हामीले देख्दा पनि देख्थेन टेलिभिजन भनेको चाहिँ खालि एनटिभी र यो दूरदर्शन मात्र थियो अहिले त उसले वी गट एक्सपोजर वी गट रिसोर्सेस होइन पहिला लाइब्रेरी जानु पर्थ्यो अहिले अनलाइन छ वी जस्ट हेभ सो मेनी रिसोर्सेस द्याट वी क्यान टेक केयर अफ टु मेक युज अफ टु लर्न टु डु बिजनेस होइन जस्तै अहिले साथीले भन्नुभयो देयर आर जस्ट सो मेनी रिसोर्सेस फर यु टु सेल अल्सो to learn also होइन सबै कुरा यो चाहिँ यो कम्बाइन गरेर गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई थिंक but the important thing I'm trying to say is your targets you have to have sales targets and you origin contact गर्दाखेरि when you are going somewhere त्यो भन्दैमा you don't need to wear an expensive suit you don't need to wear expensive boots you don't need to have a expensive तर आफ्नो इन्डस्ट्री अनुसारको प्रोफाइल हुन्छ क्या जस्तै कि until like 1.5 years back I used to go in my shorts र चाहिँ उलाएर ज्याकेट लाएर म I used to go to meetings because I was a travel photographer अब त्यो बेलामा सुट लाएर गयो भने then they were like dude यो travel photographer को बिजनेसम्यान के हो भन्थे हैन so आफ्नो इन्डस्ट्री अनुसार but what you need to do is see you going there to sell something right whenever you meeting someone businessman at that point or at a later point you want to make an impression upon the person and sell whatever you have to offer right त्यो बेला चाहिँ it is not okay one thing will not ठ्याक्क एकदम गर्दैमा तिम्रो सेल क्लोज हुन्छ भने हैन everything adds up right सानो कुरा सबै कुरा जोडेर त अनि it becomes a bigger whole right so this I think as per industry को उ अनुसार सटक्क परेर or if you're a let's say reggae artist कता जाँदा झुटी पारेर I don't know whatever role you are supposed to fit you have to make sure that you're going to like at least fit into that box right qualification भनेको चाहिँ you need to understand see sometimes like again going back time we don't have a lot of time and I hate it if I go somewhere and if I feel that person is not a qualified lead for me you come out and say बेकार टाइम खर्च गर्दै भन्ने कुरा नि you have to like कोसँग चाहिँ हैन क्वालिफाइड कस्टमरलाई कसरी how do you filter who is not blah blah सबै whatever say you have to like and again I really try to stress this because see for example one of the things about your insurance बेच्दाखेरि what I found is, this is about understanding consumer behavior. I'm not talking about, hey, well, pani चाहिन्छ, so I'll go and sell water भने हैन. You have to go, I think as a company, you need to go deeper than that. Like, कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भनेपछि, people, if I ask, and because insurance is a saving product, saving and risk management product for insurance, right? When I go to them, and you will last, 1 year, I ask them to spend. For example, if you want to buy an 80,000 rupees phone, and that is what obviously we use it for business, whatever, or personal. But that's not the cost of the physical products you get back. You give that guy 80,000 rupees, and then you get a phone, physical product, right? And then you get short off, because there's a physical product in it. Now 80,000 rupees goes in insurance so you cannot feel that product, The only time they're happy is after 15 years when you get the money, and then you say, oh, at that time I made a really good decision, For that 15 years, the paisa मात्र दिएर हुन्छ तर हातमा किन्ने प्रोडक्ट आएन नि त हैन अब अहिले पनि अस्ति पनि मेरो भाइ एकजना भन्दै थिए हैन अनि बाउ एन्ड हिज अनम्यारिड हैन पोलिसी बनाऊ इट्स गुड you should start भन्दै ए दाइ बिहा गरेछ न भन्छ I said like बिहा त गर्छौ नि बच्चा पनि पाउँछौ नि सेटल हुने प्लान छ नि त्यो त सधैँ हो हैन हैन दाइ तर मैले हिसाब मिलाएको के छैन भन्दै थिए अस्ति अर्को हाम्रो भाइहरु चाहिँ नि त्यो अबाउट गो टु थाइल्यान्ड अनि उ चाहिँ जान्छ नला भनेर उनीहरुले मात्र केटाहरु चारजना प्लान बनाइरा थियो भोलिबाट थाहा पाएछ ए दाइ मलाई नभन्ने मलाई तुरुन्तको टिकट काटेर हो and that expenses is like 50 whatever 55 ticket ko matra bhayo हैन it was like a week long party trip अर्को 1 लाख जति 80,000 1 लाख रुपैयाँ राख हैन शपिङ गरे होला अर्को another $5,000 right so the total bill is already coming to whatever 1,500 2,000 whatever it may be त्यसको half चाहिँ सेभिङ राखेर उले गर्दैन के उले now my challenge is or my team's challenge is how do I get them to save. It's not a bad thing. Saving is not a bad thing. It's easier for me to sell him a bloody $500 ticket than it is to make him save. Yeah? And I don't think if I try and sell the insurance, which is a good thing, saving also, risk management also. So I live in actually like all of the bad guys. $5,000 bank ma hala भने चाहिँ interest कति आउँछ 5% हो कि 4.8% हो कि 5.2% हो भनेर you start calculating then you say oh I have to go and talk to my father I bring you like a hot chick here 5,000 rupees things you say I will give it to you like after 1 month please give me that $5,000 I really need it But if I tell you to save, you have that money in your pocket, you'll say, I'm going to sell it, Daiso sell it, you 5% kid, I'm 5.1%. What difference does it make? 0.1, but you're saving that money, right? But you'll say, this is what one small bit I'm saying is understanding my customer, as in how they think. Right? I know they need insurance. They know they need insurance, but I still need to sell it and I need to convince them as to why they should, put that money into the policy. That's the challenge, And understanding customers' money, you have to go and go beyond and say, oh, bike, they need transportation, you need transportation, see, so that's why I'm here to sell it. And this got like, I don't know, the best power, the best speed, you need to be able to really go a step beyond and day-to-day dealings, you need to go back, think and say, what do I learn from that on the behavioral side and how do I again address that? So you understanding customer side, so don't just take I know everyone knows, we all know that we need to understand our customers, but we need to go take a step beyond and try and really understand them every time we talk to them. And your lifetime value of customers, I'm saying it's really weird. Right? I know we've all been reading that in books. Right? For example, my insurance company, there are two ways to sell insurance. Okay? One is to like Sati Bala bola, hey, bike garmula bhane, अस्ति पनि मलाई I have one friend हैन, उसको first daughter को चाहिँ policy थियो 10 लाखको अनि मेरो college friend हो, but he's a director of a bank, and he's got a very big manufacturing unit पनि छ. ए आइजन त ज्यास पनि खाउँ, मेरो पनि त्यो छोरा चुसको 3 वर्ष छ, छोरी चाहिँ 6 years or something. So it will आइजन त गफ पनि गरौँ, त्यो पनि गर्नु पर्यो हैन. सम मेरो स्टाफ मेरो सेल्स पिगर गर्दै अनि कति गर्ने त दाइ भन्ने हैन, लाइक 10 को गर्ने भन्ने हैन. ए सरी 30 को गर्ने भने त्यो चाहिँ लाइक साले मेरो पहिला छोरीको त 10 को गराएको मलाई पहिला एजेन्टले, and you're trying to sell me a 30 lakh policy, and you know, are you trying to like rip me off, sort of like, you know, comment? I said like, I know you since a very long time. I know 1995, 96, then I sat here. What kind of university? 2001 my college, you went to UK, 2 weeks in India. I said like, you think about yourself. 2001 my MBA, how much did you spend per year? I know you spent about $22,000 to $25,000 for his yearly fees, and he will do very good MBA university in the UK. And the dollar rate 67 rupees there, right? 67 rupees per dollar there. I said, that's over a 50% increment on the dollar rate. I thought 2001 ma tero university go fees आज कति भयो होला. अब your son is 3 years old. अब 15 वर्षपछि कति हुन्छ होला र डलर रेट कति हुन्छ होला. And he said, अझै मेरो त्यो एजेन्टले why did he send me 10 lakhs को policy? I said like, he does not know you. उसको लागि what that agent thought was मेरो लागि 10 लाख को policy गर्नु लागि पुग्यो. 15 वर्षमा 20 लाख रुपैयाँ आउँछ, मलाई त पुग्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. उले बुझेको छैन कि तिमी who are you? You are the director of a bank. What are your financial needs for your son or your daughter? उसको लागि मेरो लागि सपोज चाहिँ 10 लाख रुपैयाँ हुन्छ भने कुनै एउटा नर्मल मान्छेलाई त 3 लाखको पोलिसी बनाउनु नि हुन्छ नि त, बिकज उसको आफ्नो फाइनान्शियल आफ्नो एउटा फ्यामिली ब्याकग्राउन्डले पो डिसाइड गर्नु पर्यो त. मलाई चाहिँ 50 लाख हुन्छ भने चाहिँ सबैजना 50 लाख हुँदैन नि त. 1 करोड चाहिन्छ सबैले 1 करोड चाहिँदैन नि त. बट एन्ड उसले के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि नाउ द्याट इज द अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ द कस्टमर पे. नाउ द लाइफ टाइम भ्याल्यु अफ अ कस्टमर इज उसले त्यो बेला गरेर फर्स्ट इयर आएछ पैसा लिएर डिपोजिट गरेछ, सेकेन्ड इयर पनि आएछ पैसा लिएर गएछ, तर उसले रिसिट पनि दिन आएको छैन र ही हेज नो ब्लडी आइडिया एज टु वाट इज ह्यापन विथ द पोलिसी. ओके, एन्ड उसले मलाई भन्दै थियो. सो वाट आई सेड वाज, एन्ड अर्को कुरा चाहिँ बिफोर साइनिङ द डकुमेन्ट वाट इज सेड वाज ल 30 लाखको गर्न त भने ल गर्न तैँले भन्छस् भने आई सेड लाइक लुक, just give me 15 minutes and then in a चिया पनि खानुहुन्छ, बस्नु पनि त गफ कुरा पनि गर्नु पर्यो हैन, चिया खाने हो त. So I said just give me 15 minutes and I'll explain to you why you need a 30. Okay, भनेको यो कुरा जब मैले यो डलरको यो उसको आफ्नो उसको पर्सनल कुरा गरे नि मैले, he signed up. त्यो त यति पनि साइन गर्थ्यो उसले. After that what he told me was गर्दै बरु मेरो छोरीमा कोमा चाहिँ 10 लाख पनि थप्नु पर्यो भनेको उसले. Because then you what customers need to understand what they're buying, and especially insurance is very, very complicated. Okay, when I explained to him, my normal stance could be, "Saathi ho, I knew. Oh, he bought some 2 lakh rupees. Oh, 2 lakh is nothing for me. Yearly, precise. But I still wanted to explain to him why I'm saying he needs a 30. And then what he told me was, "Sorry, go on, 10 lakh thapchu bhanyo." I get what I'm saying. Now that is a customer who understands my product versus I could have just signed the 30 and gone. And lifetime the first agent did not understand that one couple can have multiple children. The agent who did that 10 lakh rupees, first I did not understand that friend of mine को उसको फाइनेन्शियल के छ, उसले उसको छोरा या छोरीलाई चाहिँ नि युनिभर्सिटी पढाएर कस्टल युनिभर्सिटीमा पठाउँछ हैन, उसँग वर्षको उसले चाहिँ कति पैसा छ he can put aside हैन. He didn't that bit of understanding was not there for him. Okay, the second bit was he failed to understand that the same couple can also have a second child, which means you can again go into business. So lifetime भनेको चाहिँ भोलिको त्यो अब जति उसको अब मैले बिस्तारै गाडीको पनि लिँदैछु, म बाइकको पनि लिँदैछु हैन. You know, the same person can give you multiple, revenue streams, अब उसको अर्को दिदीको नानी छ अरे त्यहाँ पनि भनिदिन्छु भनेको छ हैन. So you see, the first Asian clearly did not understand that it's so funny that one person can have two children भन्ने कुरा नै उसले बुझाएको छैन के. First time लिन आयो, बुझेको second time आएको उसले रिसिप्ट पनि फिर्ता लिएर आएको छ यहाँ ड्राइभर हुँदैन. No worries, give me the policy, I'll just try and see तिम्रो पोलिसीको स्टेटस के छ र पर्यो भने तिम्रो त्यो अर्को पोलिसी अर्को कम्पनीसँग छ but just leave it to us, we'll put it in our database and तिम्रो पेमेन्टहरु सबै हामी तपाईले हेर्दिन्छौँ भनेको छ हैन. So your lifetime value as customers, what you have to understand is we tend to forget, short term गर्छौं हैन. यो कुरा चाहिँ we really need to embed it in our thing, and the customer service चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट आउँछ post sales पनि. Because trust me, if you have good, we've read about this, I know. And तर मैले खाली चाहिँ यो practical side मा चाहिँ मेरो experience चाहिँ share गरे कि how the same person can give you multiple भनेर, and how a lot of people forget that. I just give you face-to-face quick tips, some of them that I really like, right? Again, it's not something that I invented, okay? I've taken these things from different places, as and when, so I'll just put in a few things, yeah? But I help people make decisions that are good for them, And you have to have this thing where you say, I believe that whatever I'm selling is good for you, and you have to have that conviction after. Although often एउटा साथीले चाहिँ एउटा मेरो like I said, I was doing video also हैन पहिला अलिकति एडिटिङमा, अनि मेरो स्टाफ भन्नाले एडिटिङको मेरो थियो, उसले पेमेन्ट दिनु थियो मलाई. So I said, "Buddy, I'm not getting your payment, I'm selling your policy." मलाई पैसा चाहिरहेछ त यो त भन्दा धेरै के भनेछ ल हेर ब्रदर, तिम्रो छोरा चाहिँ 18 वर्ष पुगेपछि गौरव अङ्कलले यो गर्दै ठीक भयो बुझ्नुभयो, and you will also say, "Oh यार छोरा राम्रो भएछ" भन्छ. You will thank me for it भनेर I clearly honestly I told him that. I can't about it. Brother, I started about it. It'll be good for you, You need to, whatever you're selling, let's say, the game business, the books, I don't know, different types of products. Whatever you're selling, so after you need to have the conviction in saying that, whatever I'm, selling is good for you. You can be Kajal also does the sales go also. They talk to me. Product about features could have you could have, but those people they don't have that passion, that drive to sell, okay? And they cannot tell you on the face why your product is good and why you should buy it, why I should buy it, why is it good for me, again. Yes. Help them make a decision. There are just some very interesting, I think, things that I've taken from somewhere and I have used it also, and I really like some of these, like a tie down. A question that demands at the end of a question. Some people usually go, okay. Wouldn't you, when the man said yes, wouldn't you like to save, for example, insurance? Don't you want to give security to your people? Wouldn't you want a fast bike? You'd like a fast bike, wouldn't you? And then, yeah, I would like a fast bike. So you try to create that very positive, after product, So you're basically asking the person to say yes. As opposed to saying, it is, this good is bike for you. You would like a fast bike, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, I'd like a really fast bike or a sexy bike or a, really nice, I don't know, big phone, or whatever. So yes, you're not saying yes for that person, but that person is saying yes, and then it seems as if you want it, so I'm selling it to you. This is very, very important. अनि पोलिसीको लागि या त केको लागि कुरा गरे अनि कहिले भेट्नु इभन मैले बाइकमा पनि त्यस्तै गर्छु इन अ लट अफ थिङ्स आई डु द्याट हाम्रो बिजनेस गर्दाखेरि अनि त्यस कहिले भेट्ने त अनि तपाईको कहिले फ्री हुनुहुन्छ त भनेर के द्याट्स अ भेरी ओपन एन्डेड थिङ ओके लेट्स मिट भने नि सो ट्युसडे अर वेन्सडे क्लोज एन्डेड गरेर छ हैन ट्राई दिस इट रियली वर्क्स एन्ड इभन माई टिमहरु पनि हामी टेस्टेड दिस अ लट हैन भेटौँ न त भने कहिले भेट्ने भनेर हामी युजुअली के हुन्छ अनि तपाईँको कहिले फुर्सद छ अर्को हप्तातिर ल हुन्छ नि त भनेर अनि नेक्स्ट विक इज वेन हैन त्यसो लाइक सो स्यालनी इज सन्डे के बिहान 11 बजे गरौँ कि दिउँसो 3 बजीतिर गरौँ होइन होइन 3 बजे होइन 3 बजे होइन भने त उसले कति बजे 4 बजे गर्ने कि 2 बजे गर्ने भन्नु पऱ्यो नि त होइन अब might not work in 100% of the cases, but I found that it usually works, है त्यो त मिटिङ त्यो सेल्सको लागि चाहिँ लागेको छ त्यो त क्लोज गर्नु मान्छेलाई भेट्नु पर्यो उ गर्नु पर्यो भने चाहिँ this is something that I like, you know, that I found that really works. Sorry. No, next slide. यसमा चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दाखेरि होइन हामीले यस नो भन्ने होइन कि we give them an option where you say like for example होइन can you make a website for me for a somewhat smaller rate भन्यो भने so yeah yes we can भन्छौँ त हामीले होइन सेल्समा के हुँदो रहेछ नि so कति 50,000 जतिको छ नि इट्स भेरी रिजनेबल हाम्रो स्पेसल अफर छ यस्तो छ सो 50,000 को हुन्छ त भन्यो भने नाउ यु आर गोइङ टु डेफिनेटिभ लाइक यु नो सेल्स क्लोजतिर गइरहेको छ कि ओके एज अपोज टु सेइङ हामी गरिहाल्छौँ नि तपाईँले कति गर्छ भन्नु न हामी रिजनेबल रेटमा गर्छौँ नि भन्ने होइन कि यु मेक एन अफर राइट सो दिज आर जस्ट सम एक्जाम्पल्स आइ एम पुटिङ टुगेदर फर यु होइन there are a lot of other different, you know, resources that are available there for you online also. Books, YouTube, धेरै उसमा छ हैन तर यो कुराहरु चाहिँ this is just a path, right? जुन मैले पनि like I said मैले यो सुरुमै मैले भनिसकेको छु हैन I also don't want to like, you know, come up with my own selling techniques, you know. There's no need for me to come up with my own selling techniques or even marketing होस् या त कुनै कुरामा होस्. People have already done it. त्यो गर्दा गर्दा एक दुईटा मैले नयाँ कुरा पनि I might discover. Right? If I discover, I'll put it down, I'll use it, right? But at the same time, not everything needs to be discovered by me. And there are a lot of resources, you know, that are out. Most probably a couple of these, right? You will also see it. I am doing that. I need to do that. I'm not going to take another 5 years to learn the same thing when it's already there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Right? So this is just a direction for you. I'm just putting it there for you to understand that, you know, there are a lot of resources. I've been telling you that. If you look into that, I think it will really speed up your learning process. You know, and after I'm startups or go you know that revenue right? Like for example, creating hurry. I'm insurance of after every birthday, your premium increases. Okay? So you say, right, I've already closed like a couple of sales just this week also because Boisagma, 9 years birthday is on. The moment you cross that birthday, then your premium increases. So you're like, you got it, all the parts of that extra premium. No, you birthday, so that's when you close the sale. Because until the check is not in your account, there is no sale, right? Until the cash is not in your till, there's no sale. Right? So, the client has not been customers on like, oh, Indian da, government da, online da. You get what I'm trying to say? Right? Customers usually test it. So unless like side, I'm going to call them life and online are different. Okay? Life was a key also on that area. Government parts on this, right? So they take their own sweet time. Okay? अब गरौँला नि भाइ अलिकति त्यो अब मेरो साथी एकजना दाइ हो उसलाई मैले कलेजको लागि फलो गरेको 8-9 months भइसक्यो है नाउ he says अलिकति क्यास ब्यालेन्स मिलेको छैन भने he's got a bloody कार त भइहाल्यो होइन त्यो बेला चाहिँ Hyundai Santro घरमा एउटा सुजुकी त्यो रेसिङ बाइक त्यो 18-20 लाख पर्ने अलरेडी छ त्यो चाहिँ तर साथीको भाइले साथीको छोराले कहाँबाट ठोकाइदिएर त्यो गराजमा छ he's got a Ducati, he's got a Enfield त्यो पुरानो स्टाइलको Enfield छ अनि त्यसपछि त्यो बिचमा मैले भन्दाखेरि के थियो त्यो भनिसकेपछि he's like अलिकति बजेट मिलाएको छैन अलिकति ब्यालेन्स गर्छ भनेको त्यो Enfieldको हिमालय निस्केको 1000 रुपैयाँ गरेर हानिसकेको थियो हो he's already got it at home त्यसपछि गएर डक्टर लिइसक्यो खर्च गर्न चाहिँ मैले भने खर्च गर्न चाहिँ he's always good, but somehow I've still not been able to close that sale, right? When he's already bought the Himalaya, the Enfield Himalaya पनि किनिसक्यो गएर अस्ति रेनल्ट डस्टर किनिसक्यो हैन तर उसँग चाहिँ पैसा चाहिँ छैन रे हैन तर अब किनिरहेछ हैन बट त्यो चाहिँ नि मेरो अब अगेन हैन I'm still trying to go. I'm still working on that. Okay, I'm still working on that sale, and I'm seeing कसरी कहाँ चाहिँ गरेर त्यसलाई चाहिँ क्लोज गर्ने भनेर म हेरिरहेको छु हैन तर त्यही भएर अब सेल्स क्लोज गर्ने कुरा त कस्तो भन्दाखेरि फर एक्जाम्पल लेट्स से अब कुनै दसैँ अफर छ तपाईहरुको केही कुनै हैन आई डोन्ट नो हैन तपाईको आफ्नो प्रोडक्टमा चाहिँ हेर्नु पर्यो कि त्यो हरि कसरी के हुन्छ फर एक्जाम्पल अनि नन लाइफमा त कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि लाइफमा चाहिँ हामी पछि कुद्दा 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 बेच्नलाई हैरान हुन्छ कि हैन देयर सो मेनी विजिट्स सो मेनी फोन कल सो मेनी थिङ्स हैन अनि नन लाइफ लेट्स से फर एक्जाम्पल नन लाइफको पनि गाडीमा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि भाइ मेरो त त्यो एक्सपायर हुँदै छ त तुरुन्तै गर्नु पर्यो भनेर अनि हैन सर हामी त्यहाँ आउँछु नि भनेर स्टाफ गर्ने हैन हैन म यही आउँछु त्यहाँ भनेर अनि फेरि कुदेर आउँछ क्या द्याट इज वाट द्याट्स हरि बिकज इट इज उनीहरूको भोलिदेखि पर्सि गयो भने उसको फाइन लाग्छ सो उनीहरूलाई हरि भयो होइन सो अहिले हामीले के गरिरहेको छौँ नन लाइफको जुन चाहिँ नि बाइक स्कुटरवाला यिनीहरूको छ नि सबै लिस्ट क्रिएट गरेर उसको कहिले चाहिँ नि एक्सपायरी हुन्छ सबै आई निड टु लिस्टेड एन्ड चाहिँ भन्नु अगाडि सर तपाईँहरूको यो डेटमा चाहिँ तपाईँको एक्सपायर हुँदैछ सो यु निड टु रिन्यू द्याट फर एक्जाम्पल नन लाइफमा तपाईँको स्कुटर बाइकहरू होला होइन कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि लेट्स से योर के अरे बाइक या स्कुटर या त गाडीको चाहिँ नि policy expires tomorrow. Okay, let's say your policy amount was, let's say, 2,000 rupees for your scooter. वर्षको होइन न लाइफमा चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि लाइफमा चाहिँ लाइफ इन्सुरेन्स पोलिसी गरेपछि पेमेन्ट आएपछि द कम्पनी विल स्टार्ट कलिङ यु सेन्डिङ यु मेसेजेस ओके त्यो किन भन्दाखेरि आई हेभ कमिटेड फर 15 years म एभ्री इयर म चाहिँ नि होइन 2-3 लाख दिन्छु भनेर सो उसले त्यसको हिसाबमा उनीहरूले इन्भेस्टमेन्ट प्लानिङ गरिसकेको हुन्छ सो दे रियली निड द्याट मनी के सो द्याट्स वाइ दे कलिङ मी ओके लोन लाइफ मेरो गाडीको त रहेछ 50,000 रुपिस छ भनेपछि 40,000 रुपिस छ भनेपछि एभ्री इयर मैले नो क्लेम पाउँछु होइन आई डोन्ट नो हाउ मेनी अफ यु नो अबाउट दिस होल लाइफ नन लाइफ भेहिकलमा चाहिँ होइन सो एभ्री इयर आई स्टार्ट गेटिङ अ डिस्काउन्ट इफ आई डोन्ट क्लेम एनिथिङ सो 10%, 20% गरेर 45%सम्म मैले डिस्काउन्ट पाउँछु इफ आई डोन्ट क्लेम फर आई थिङ्क 4 years or 5 years बट इफ आई ब्रेक द लिङ्क नि लेट्स से आई डोन्ट लाइक मेरो भोलि आज पोलिसी लास्ट डे भयो होइन today is the last day of my policy. Tomorrow, if I try to go and pay, I go back to 100%. Okay. Then my salary, let's say 2,000 rupees. This is 2,000 rupees answer. But if I update it today, then I have 45% or 20% or 30%. You link break on again. The moment you break the link, you go back to 100%. So non-life company, you break on it is in the interest of the company to not remind you. But eventually, you need to get insurance to update your bike. So you need to come there, होइन सो यस्तो यस्तो कुरा धेरै कुराहरू छ होइन तर कल गर्दाखेरि हेर्नुहोस् तपाईँको ऊ क्यान्सर हुन लाग्छ होइन के अरे सकिन लाग्छ सो यु निड टु डु इट एसएप यु निड टु डु इट बाई दिस डे अदरवाइज सर यो हुन्छ है भनेपछि त्यसलाई कहाँ म त भुलेछु यार अब अस्ति मेरो साथीहरू बाहिरबाट फोन टोल्ने प्लिज पे होइन बिकज आम आउटसाइड फर अ मन्थ गाडीको पे गरिदिरहेको म फिर्ताहरू गर्छु भने पे अनि किन्दाखेरि पे भएको अर्जेन्सी भन्छ त्यसमा है सो यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ यो क्रिएटिङ हरि इज भेरी भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट फर यु टु स्पिड अप द सेल्स इफ यु क्लोज वान सेल टुडे देन यु हेभ न्यू टार्गेट्स टु अकाम्प्लिस के होइन जस्तो कि मलाई 10वटा टिभी बेच्नु थियो यो पालि 5,000 बेच्यो अर्को त्यो भयो यो महिना 10,000 बेच्नु दिनेछ ओके नेक्स्ट मन्थ आई निड टु सेल अनदर 10 or 12 right okay so like I said I'm obviously not a sales guru right but then like I said I think it's been a very wonderful time for me to share a little bit of whatever I have experienced in my last few years of working and sharing what I think I'm sure you also have so many things you can share that which will be very very useful to me at the same time I would also have some things that I think I've shared with you so well I hope it was, you enjoyed whatever I had to say to you. A little bit of my experience that I've gone over the years. Thank you so much for having me here, especially the who also, and for all of you sitting here and listening to me. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions, sir? Anything?
I had a question because this was when I came across this when I was talking to all the people who had submitted their ideas, and I found it very alarming. So maybe from a sales perspective, from a revenue perspective, perhaps you could answer. There were a couple of social enterprise ideas. Who said that? Well, they pitched me the idea. They said that we'll do this good, we'll do this good and all. But I asked them, even though you're a social enterprise, how will you make money? And they were like, no, we are a social enterprise. We don't need to make money. That was their response. And I found it really alarming. And I just wanted to ask you, what was it, since you work with INGOs and third, you take your order.
अब INGO बाट पठाउने कि हैन अब like कहाँबाट निकाल्ने for example I don't have an NGO हैन I don't really make money off of that but मेरो team छ मेरो त्यहाँ हैन like I'm making a student Gorkha this is something मेरो again मेरो passion side हो where I really wanted to make us have a school in mind I don't mean like I want my name printed on the school but I wanted a school for not the private liberal school but I wanted to make a school for like children. So Gorkhaमा मैले स्कुल बनाएँ अब it's already complete at least it's a primary school nothing fancy nothing big and all but I at least have like that structure and I'm doing more for that school. So मेरो एनजिओमा चाहिँ टिम छ अब रेभेन्यू मोडल त त्यसमा पनि छ नि त स्पेनमा I've got very good friends हैन very good friends who अब अस्ति 2 दिन अगाडि मात्र they had a concert meaning not a fancy big concert but they had a very nice concert. They raised about I think $5,000 US sorry and they're sending it maybe next week. So we'll go to the NGO account and again we're doing more stuff there. We're collecting drinking water. For example, we're doing let's say you get a tours. Not just like I'm going to 2 nights I'm going actually. But just go tour companies we are working. That guy like last trip we had about like I think $1,500 let's say the tour company हामीलाई दियो. Client पनि हाम्रै हो हैन त्यो गरे we're doing a lot of like a lot of fundraising activities happening but I need to know where that money is coming from and so I think यसमा पनि अब and I've told my staff also चाहिँ गर्थ्यो हामी खर्च त गर्ने पैसा त कहीँबाट आउनु पर्यो नि त so यो कुरामा प्रडक्ट कस्तो हो हैन त्यो हिसाबले there are a lot of I think people meaning INGOs looking for good projects or even if you have good international contacts or you have these you cases that you again online get it that funding platforms crowdfunding so many things so revenue model त obviously like I said अहिले भने अब एक-एकवटा सामान त बेच्नु पर्दैन त्यसमा and you don't need to sell like एक-एकवटा स्याउ बेच्नु परेन apples बेच्नु परेन एक-एकवटा जस्तो बेच्नु परेन but then obviously you need a revenue model where you say revenue it might not be sales but you need funds. So where are you going to get that fund from? It could be a beautiful social idea but then someone needs to an NGO needs or INGO needs to buy that idea and that's where you're going to make that project bring that project to life. So that's not what I think well for example what I'm selling is children education and you get Chepango for US people go over there 120 people Japan nomads two guys years of story and then they'll buy it and okay take $100 or take $5 otherwise who's going to like ita bricks I need to buy bricks I need to buy cement I need to buy like thing and मेरो supervisor like तलब गर्नु पर्यो त सबै त्यो त गर्नु पर्यो अब रेभेन्यू मोडल त त्यहाँ पनि छ नि त हैन तर मान्छेले like I said casually भन्दा चाहिँ people say oh I'm not doing it for the money भन्दा like what is not doing it for the money no you have to be very upfront and say like come on if there's no money के अब बाउले हाल्दिनु पर्यो आमाले हाल्दिनु पर्यो ल बाउ गएर स्कुल बनाऊ हैन राम्रो हुन्छ भनेर दिनु पर्यो मलाई हैन भन्दा I got to have a revenue model and even त्यसमा पनि I need to convince my dad like dude I need like 80 lakhs to like build a school like why do you want to build a school I need to sell the concept as to why that 80 lakhs is important and even religion now for example even your monastery they're selling how do you think all of these so many worry and you कसरी हुन्छ त खैरे वाला बुद्ध भनेर चाहिँ एकदम they're like really impressed oh rinpoche भनेपछि and that's how they give you $100,000 or like $200,000 yeah I know whether it's religion Christianity member, you know. Well, how do they collect those funds? There's some selling involved, you know. I know, and then त्यत्रो थोरै कोप सोपहरू कतै हुन्छ त यार पैसा त तिमीले आउँदैन हैन For example, I don't know, this is my personal experience, हैन For example, यो के रे For example, all of this, like, you know, like you and Alma, where does the money come from? यत्रो टेलिभिजनमा चाहिँ नि यो poverty, यो त्यसले देखाएपछि then you basically create that, you know, environment where the government will give you funds, and the government also has to say we are giving this funds because it's public money, right? Because TV त नेपालमा पुरा सबैजना मरिरहेको छ भनेपछि अनि त्यसपछि ओ दिनुपर्छ भनेपछि then you give funds, no? Because there has to be that is still selling, you know. Whenever you see, let's say, oh, नेपालमा चाहिँ April 25th मा त्यस्तो भयो अर्थक्वेक हो भनेपछि global news गरे everyone is saying, oh, we need to support them भनेपछि and government हो ल गर्ने भनेर पैसा हाल्यो नि त. The communication part, the selling part is still there. Yeah? So unless there's money, you cannot spend it. If you don't have money, how are you going to spend it? You know. So and still, like I said, you know, I know मेरो पनि कतिजना साथीहरु भन्छ त्यस्तो, ए यो पैसा कमाउन गरेको छैन, thank you very much, you know. Because after that, it will only have a certain life matter. So you're like, now life is okay.